Hello, friends and adventurers, and welcome to Grognard and Friends. As mentioned, we were dark last week due to some of us being in Ireland, and Dungeons & Dragons is alive and well there, especially in Dublin. A special hello to our brand new friend Bill at Gamers World. Bill, you rock, and Gamers World is an awesome shop. And also to Luke, one of our favorite bartenders at the Rowe & Company Whiskey Distillery. Luke's a big-time D&D fan and player, so good to see you, Luke. Those drinks were awesome. And speaking of friends, let's check out this week's episode of Grognard and Friends. When last we left the friends, they had finally made it out of the eastern districts and back to the Stone's Throw, only to find it sealed shut, with a note stating that one Beauregard Butterbeer was in custody for crimes against the palace. The group broke in to get some rest and to get their crap together. Gaius, who felt guilty that they couldn't help Calandra find her quarry, decided to try and make it up to her by allowing her to pull a card from a magical deck of cards that they had discovered a long time ago, but had never actually cracked open. A deck that supposedly went by many names, but was most commonly known as the Trial, with each of the cards being called the Judges. Eventually, everyone got in on the act, and as things progressed, the group, Gaius in particular, decided to contact Murph to find out if he knew anything about what was going on. Murph said, "Meet me tomorrow night at a place called the Rubber Ducky down on the docks." And so the group the next night started heading down there. They discovered a door of a building smashed in, and it sounded like some commotion inside. Being the heroes they are, if you are to believe anything that Reed says, decided to go in and check things out, and they did a very good job, with the exception that these thieves or bandits or whoever they were seemed a little more organized and plentiful than usual bandits. The group made it out of there after a very, very young wizard of some form cast a fireball in the middle of the building, to which Gaius, according to Eldred, kind of lost it and started causing the flames to burn more frantically. And then came out laughing maniacally like Tim Curry in Rocky Horror. The group then Legend, that's right. The group then headed down to the docks, headed by the red light district, in which Calandra's temple/brothel was located, but it was cordoned off by the guards, and according to people's discussions and rumors, in the middle of the night there had been a stray bolt of lightning that had leveled 3 buildings on the Alley of Red Lanterns, one of them, the center one, being the temple to Hedone. And Calandra was having a really tough time with that. But you needed to hurry to get to the Rubber Ducky. You found it down an alleyway and down some steps into a basement room that seemed to go up very high. It was filled with smoke, and it was dark, and it was filled with, it was a hive of scum and villainy, as well as hidden ducks all throughout the entire place, like a little Disney World sort of place. They ended up going up a spiral staircase, to which there was a quote-unquote cafe, according to Marge, the bartender, who said to tell Murph that he owed her dinner. and they found a place called the Dirty Duck, which had a pretty nasty looking sculpture of a duck outside with little lines drifting up overhead, a la Pigpen. You walked inside, and the first thing you saw was at the other end of the room. It was a room that kind of looked like a cross between Red Lobster in Hell and a kid's tree house that had fallen during a storm, but with all of it with kind of like a sea shanty type of theme. You see Murph sitting at the end with a big bowl, and he seems to be slurping down what looks like big, long white noodles that are kind of corkscrewy. And it's about this time that you turn around and realize Calandra is not with the group proper. And you turn around and she says, I have to go check on... That just doesn't seem right about the temple. I'll be back. And she takes off. She takes off, and it's as you file into the Dirty Duck, Gaius had gone in first, and he looks around and says, where's Calandra?
She just left to go to the temple.
Oh, for Bacchus' sake, he says. And he turns around and goes out the door.
Wait.
They left it to us, really?
Are we supposed to talk to Murph?
No, I'll talk to Murph.
Elder goes, oh boy, this ought to be good.
I go over to Murph.
I am immediately following him.
I follow.
Okay, so the four of you, Eldred included, kind of looking back where Gaius went and looking at the rest of you and kind of goes, okay. You all walk into the Dirty Duck, and there's a couple of really very rough-looking sailor types on either side of the door, drinking out of tankards and eating something that one seems to be eating a big bowl of steamed clams, and the other one seems to be eating some sort of fish and what looks like noodles.
I mean, it smells good in here, at least.
That it does.
Is there any sunlight coming in here?
There is none. It's a pretty dark, sort of hazy sort of room.
What kind of day is it by now?
It is evening.
If there's a seat next to Murph, I just kind of...
He's at a decent-sized table, and he sees you, goes, oh. And just a big white, what looks like a noodle or something that's kind of spiral, goes... Maybe starts chewing, go, sit down, make yourself comfortable.
I plop at the seat.
I'm gonna quickly lean over to Eldred. So if the other version of me was evil, do you think I should stay back, or should I myself, or...
He goes, it's Murph. I think you'll be fine.
All right, okay.
And quite frankly, we're down a third of the group, so I think we should probably all stick together.
Yes, I understand. I just didn't know. Okay. Hello, Murph. I'm Vivalda. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, we met before. I remember you.
Well,
right.
You kind of did. Turns out, Murph, we got a little bit bamboozled. I don't know how much. It's a long story, but essentially, there was an evil Vivalda, and this is the real one, and she's a darling. We love her.
Thank you.
So there were two Vivaldas. One was a darling, one was a doppelganger, and one had...
I thought you were an elf.
I am an elf.
A darling isn't another being. It's just a nice thing to call somebody.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Is this the person that Gaius was saying something about their prostate?
Apostate.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Right. Yes. Pretty much.
Oh.
Listen.
Wait a minute. Where is Gaius? Because how do I know all of you aren't also doppel thingies?
Because we knew the word
apostate.
Apostate.
Oh, you're right. Wait a minute. I'm the one who said that.
But we knew it was
technically you said prostate, but we knew what you were referring to.
That's true.
This is true. So... I don't even know what prostate means. I just thought it was
Murph,
weird.
if I wasn't who I am, then I would tell you.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And actually, coming from you, that even makes more sense.
Gaius went to retrieve another group member of ours because there's a couple things we were kind of wondering if you could fill us in on about what's been happening around here.
Have you met the new cleric?
The little one with all the makeup and the high heels?
Yes.
Yes, I think that counts. I think that was the other code phrase.
She worked at the temple that is currently on fire.
Excuse me?
Yeah. We wanted to pass by her place of work in case she left anything there, and the Red Lantern District is closed off, and the temple is in flames.
It's like obliterated.
It's about this time that Calandra steps in and says, I realize that was really rude of me just to take off when you were we had to do something. I'm sorry.
My bad.
It's alright. The guys here?
But I'm here now. Yay!
Did you bring Gaius back? Who's going with you?
Oh, shit.
Well, I turned back on myself pretty fast. I didn't want to leave you guys in the middle of something.
Oh, boy.
I didn't know he came after
you.
Well, it sounds like we will try and track him down as soon as we can. Maybe he will return. I don't think that he'd just up and leave. I think he'll be back. In the meantime, Murph, you remember Calandra?
Yes. The little yes.
Hi Murph, how you doing?
Oh, Peachy. And speaking of Peachy, let's talk about that news that's the pits. So you want to tell me what the hell happened with our good friend Butterbeer?
Wait. First
Butt
off,
Trumpet. Oh, real quick, Butt Trumpet, give me a perception check, please.
Okay.
And you can give it to me with advantage because of the topic that this is based on.
I just kind of need to know what you're eating, Murph. It looks pretty good.
Was it tentacles? I hope it's not tentacles.
You see that, and this is what you were looking at, Butt Trumpet, is a big bowl of squid tentacles.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
there you go.
And little cut up pieces of squid. But it seems to be in some sort of olive oil or some sort of, looks like probably olive oil, looks like it has a little char on them. But a lot of them are kind of spiral, and he's been slurping them in and then eating them.
This is what you meant when you said you love tentacles.
Yeah, they're some of the best in the city here. What do you think I meant?
I've never partaken myself. I didn't know they were a delicacy, and we are going to move forward.
He goes, you're welcome to try some, and he hands you a fork.
I actually will. I'll give that a whirl. Why not?
Okay.
I thought they were noodles.
Never new experiences.
A little on the chewy side, but juicy and flavorful, and with the olive oil, and it seems like some herbs in there, and the char from these things being on the grill, they are actually really, really good.
This is far less entertaining than what I thought he meant.
I'm happy that despite the current state of the city and everything, that the food still stays amazing.
Here at the Dirty Duck, they, some of the good places still have access to some of the fishermen from the eastern districts who are kind of still peddling their wares beneath the eyes of the palace.
I see.
Yeah. So, Palace.
Yeah.
We wanted to touch base with Butterbeer. We came upon the stone's throw. It was completely boarded up and sealed with a note that said that Butterbeer had been taken for crimes against the palace.
Yeah,
What's
how about
going on? What happened?
Actually, that's why I called you here. I wanted to know what you knew of it.
We didn't know anything.
But
We were just as surprised.
Yeah, we thought you were going to know.
He's in prison over there by the colonnade, from what I hear
Like-
from the research I've done.
When's the last you saw him?
Oh, probably like a day or so after the last time you saw him. And then all of a sudden, everything was sealed up and shut up.
So that was very recent. Oh my gosh.
So I did some digging, and it seems like when you were walking through the city, did you see any of those student kids with those stick thingies?
Oh yeah.
We saw them before, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, according to my contacts, there were about 4 groups of them who all kind of converged on the stone's throw. And the next thing they know, they were like ripping the place apart, and they took Butterbeer out in shackles.
What about the rest of the staff?
Just Butterbeer.
Had he been saying anything remotely even related to the palace or royalty or anybody prior to this?
Not Butterbeer. He kept a low profile.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't even know he was a pirate unless you figured it out by his name.
He was a pirate?
No.
See, you didn't even know.
Wow.
Murph, do you have any idea what is going on with we saw this group of bandits nearby in this house, and they had, I believe, a student who was controlling ogres, perhaps? Have you heard anything about that?
Was there a lot of them? Like, for a normal kind of, like, more than you would expect on just a bunch of, like, 2-bit thieves?
Way more than necessary to break into a house.
Yeah.
Okay, and they seemed a little more organized?
Yeah.
Yes.
And they had 2 ogres.
And dedicated.
Yeah.
Typically, thieves will just take things and run. They won't fight to the death.
There's been a little bit of that going around. There have been these groups, because a lot of places are being left empty, that are busting in and taking anything that's not nailed down. They've been going in with force just to make sure, in case anybody else is in there, that they get everything. Now, there's some rumors that they're just big groups of people, but I've also heard that some of them have been hired by some nobles up in the Overlook to do this. That some nobles are just doing it to kind of make back some of the money they're losing because of everything that's happening in the city. But supposedly they're hiring mercenaries, and they're trying to. Some of them are even hiring some of the students out of the university who don't have class ever since this thing started. Just like the palace hired a bunch of them to do to locate whatever it was they located. I thought it was the artifact, but it seems that it wasn't just the artifact they were looking for.
So the palace is looking for multiple items of some kind and resorting to recruiting people to steal them?
Well, that's an interesting concept. I haven't heard of the palace recruiting bandits and mercenaries. These were more, that I hear, were from just some unscrupulous nobles who are looking to just make more money, and while everything else is down. So they're, rather than get their own hands dirty, they're hiring mercenaries to go around and loot every place.
How would people like that get ogres into the city?
Yeah.
There were a number of ogres over in the eastern districts who you know, some of them worked over here. I know there were a number of bars that used them as bouncers. You know, just like we have goblins here. No offense, little blue friend. You know, we have some ogres here too. They're not going to be getting highfalutin jobs, but they can. You know, you get a good ogre who's loyal. He's probably worth about 5 normal people, and especially if any of them are lazy and don't really want to do the work, ogres will get the job done. If it's a simple task, they're good for that. And, you know, a lot of them are nice people, too, so I've known a couple who were bouncers around some of the bars. And let me tell you, you're a college kid and you're going to a bar looking to maybe cause some trouble. You see an ogre or 2 at the door as bouncers, you're going to think twice.
That makes sense.
Well, that's a relief.
I repeat, you don't know anything about what it was that got Butterbeer arrested?
No.
No,
We don't
I mean, the artifact was gone, right? Like you
Yeah,
It's
that was
handled,
long gone
yeah.
because I
Yeah.
found the original owner, returned it to him. He actually got out of the city but quick. Word is he might be down in Ankmar, but that could have been he could have been laying some fake breadcrumbs for me. I don't know.
Right.
Here's something you'll find interesting. He was a little annoyed because the artifact wasn't just the files of Glen Gellinor. That was just one aspect of it. From the way he talked about it, this whole artifact was a giant puzzle, and it took him years to figure out how to get the files. I don't know what
Puzzle?
you did, but it totally changed the shape and changed the puzzle when you took it. And he's going to have to work at it again to get back, see if he can locate the files within this artifact, because there's all sorts of other things that are kind of dark and mysterious, and some of them deadly. He said he almost lost an arm one time when he came upon something.
That's one heck of a sight to show you.
He was happy to get it back. He was just, from what I gathered, finding the magic of the files was at times quite dangerous and took him like a couple years. He's hoping it won't take as long, but
I'm terribly sorry for that added inconvenience and trouble onto them.
well, if I ever see him again, I'll let him know. I don't think I will. If he was smart, he
Right.
got as far away from Seven Rivers as possible.
I can imagine so, with
Yeah.
everything going the way it is.
Which
It's
is
gotten
why
kinda bad
I don't
here.
think the artifact was what they found.
I know I didn't have anything there. I don't think any of us really had much, especially after right before we left, people broke in. We think they were looking for the artifact. And they took anything they could find of ours that wasn't really nailed down. So there should have been nothing there
Well,
that was ours.
where's your guy who does all the talking and drinking? The big guy.
Gaius,
He should
yeah,
be.
the
He should
big
be back any moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
He apparently
Yes.
ran after me. He apparently ran after me.
Probably
the
is
two of you
circling
a
the
thing?
building or something.
You know, I've been trying to make it happen, but I don't think he is ever gonna like reciprocate. So no, he was trying to, I think, just be helpful.
Ironically enough, I think he's kind of more of a passive type when it comes to the fairer others that he might want to associate with.
Well,
There was. I don't know if they told you while we were coming here to find you. We stopped. Well, we were going to stop by my temple. It is now destroyed. I was going to go back to check and see if I could possibly get to it or see if I could find anyone.
well, what happened to your temple?
Apparently there was a storm and lightning struck it. And absolutely. Yeah, thanks, Reed. Here's butterscotch.
Thank you.
Your temple. Wait a minute. The only lightning strike that came out of nowhere I know about was in the temple alley of Red Lanterns.
Yep.
Took out like
That
3 buildings.
Yep.
Raised them to the ground.
Yep.
Your temple was in the alley of Red Lanterns.
It was
Wow.
Hedoni, Temple of Hedoni. It was right in the middle of those buildings. Yeah.
Location.
Yeah.
It had a really good buffet, though.
Oh, so good.
Outstanding. All you could eat, whatever you wanted.
I don't even, words fail me with that statement.
Listen, Murph, I know that you primarily correspond with Gaius, but frankly, this concerns all of us.
Oh yeah, you're a group.
I know that you two probably corresponded more so in these interactions rather than us
Not
per
really.
se.
Not really. He came down before the rest of you, but he didn't really go into too much until the rest of you were there.
Okay, good. I just don't want you to feel like you can't say anything to us that you would only say to him.
No, that's why I was basically saying what the fuck happened with Butterbeer.
Yeah, that's what terrifies us. I can't think of a single thing he may not have adored authority per se, but I can't imagine him being taken in for crimes against the palace. That sounds, I don't know, personal.
Well, Gaius, at the one time he had said something to me about something else he found on the heist.
So what if, because I do know that
I hide my dagger.
Gaius had Butterbeer holding some things for him, right? Like they
Yeah.
were in a safe.
Wait, what
But
was it
I
that he
don't know.
had?
I don't know any. I just know that
Eldred, do you remember
I thought
this?
it was just like money. Like
Right.
He had Butterbeer hold a bunch of stuff while we went off.
I think
What
I think
stuff?
he had some of the magic-y stuff from when we fought the witch.
But
Didn't
Murph
he put
says,
some of
yeah,
that?
but he talked about finding something else because he was going to ask if I might know somebody who might be in the market for it. Something really dark, and he thought some pretty dark magic was involved with it.
Oh.
this was when I was disappeared. It's after I got zapped away.
But before we get into that, the food here is pretty good. Any of you want anything?
Yes, please.
Please.
I wouldn't mind a
Yes.
bowl of tentacles.
I'll get you a bowl of tentacles. They know me coming here and going here. Anybody else
Do
want
they have
anything?
Yes, I've enjoyed
regular
the seafood here. It's been amazing.
good fish? Yeah, regular good fish, not tentacle fish.
Okay, you just want some fish? You want a sandwich? You want it just by itself? Want it fried? What do you want there, little boy?
Oh, yes.
Fish.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
And how about you two ladies?
I'll have what you're
You know what-
having. It looks
Oh,
Yeah,
delicious.
what you're having looks great, Murph.
No problem. Okay, so
I'm-
tentacles
I'm
all
getting a
around
kid's platter.
except for the little boy with the shiny forehead.
The juice
Aye,
box
that's a
and
lovely
coloring.
bowl of tentacles.
Is that-
Doodly-dee.
Is that showing? Let me.
Just the bottom of it.
Maybe you should get bangs.
I'll think about that.
Calandra can do some nice curtain bangs for you. Like they'll be really.
So Murph motions to a guy who's wearing a very stained apron in one corner, who kind of has partially balding but has some black hair, greasy back, eyes that are kind of sunken in and almost raccoon eyes from the coloration around the eyes. Looks as kind of like a ruddy complexion. Arms covered with all sorts of tattoos. Has a cigar. Looks at Murph, says, tosses the cigar onto the ground, stomps it out, goes in the back. Murph says, okay, I repeat, what are we going to do about Butterbeer? I know what prison he's in. There's only one major prison. If you're put away for crimes against the palace, this is where you're going to be.
Where is it?
So,
Right on the colonnade. Remember where the hanging was going to be? Or the execution?
Oh.
That was right in front of the prison.
Oh boy.
is there a chance that Butterbeer might be executed for this?
Oh, absolutely. Which is why time is kind of important.
Okay.
It might be because of you think something stolen during that heist. That Gaius had Butterbeer's store?
That's what I'm thinking, because Gaius had said he had something that he was going to show me that he thought somebody might be interested in buying that was really dark and evil. But I had the artifact. And by the time they were doing the heavy searching, I think my contact was out of town.
Why would Gaius take something that is dark and evil?
You tell me, he's your buddy.
He was probably going to try and get rid of it for good reasons. That's what I would think.
If you say so, to me, I guess got the feeling he wanted the cash. But, I do jump to that thought usually.
That's true.
I mean, especially given the times we're in right now. I mean, things are falling to ruin here.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, he did say he wanted the old gold, not the new coins.
Gaius did?
Well, about when he was talking about gold. See, Gaius has kind of been. He kind of has all my money. He's been like paying for everything. So I think he wanted to make sure he was using gold that was, I get the feeling he might have been running out of cash. I don't really know.
Is he a gambler or a drinker or
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
womanizer or which
Yes,
of them?
yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he does yoga.
Just go ahead and check all the boxes. Yes.
Ah, so has he been dipping into Pixie as well?
What's that?
Ooh.
It's one of the illicit substances that you can buy in the city
I was
here.
like, I'll have to ask her if I can find her, but
No, that's not exactly the Pixie I'm talking about. This is a little kind of rainbow-colored powder that a lot of college kids are doing it.
Oh, jeez.
That
When did that start?
Oh, it's been going on for a little while now.
Would explain the behavior changes as of late.
Now, I'm only waiting because down in Ankmar, there's a brand new drug that seems to be really taking the place by storm. I think it's only a matter of time before that finds its way up here, too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Does that one have a cool name, too?
What do they call them that? I think they're calling it Blossom.
Oh.
Are we going to have to get
nice.
an intervention for Gaius? Are we going to have to, like...
Because I think it, from what I heard, and this could be just total BS, because it sounds a little weird to me, but you take it by smelling these specific flowers. But anyway, butterbeer.
So, yes, butterbeer.
Yes. I guess it's
So we
tied to
need to
these
clear
items.
his name, but in order to clear his name, we would need to... What do you guys think? Because in one way...
Is there any way to like find out what the charge is against him without us actually going and talking to these people ourselves? Because
I've tried to find out what it was that they took, because they took a bunch of things out of there and put them on a wagon and took them away. I don't know, it must have been pretty serious, because they weren't allowing anyone within a block radius of the stone's throw when they were doing that. And then the rest of the day was spent sealing that place up like Fort Knox.
Really kind of a pain in the ass to get back in there.
Oh, you got back in, huh?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
were
that's where
about
we
to say we
slept.
may or may not have snuck on in to spend the night.
Now, the problem is, if they, it's a couple things. If they execute Butterbeer, none of that'll matter, because I'll just go to the palace.
How soon do you think they would? What time frame do we have?
That I don't know. It came up in one of the last town crier announcements. But then all of a sudden, the town criers stopped doing their thing too, and word is that the palace ceased to put a gag order on them as well.
Wouldn't he be entitled to a trial?
Yeah, but trials around here aren't really fair, especially if it's against the palace.
so we should probably try to bust him out. Is that what we're talking about?
Oh, well, yeah, that's absolutely going to happen.
Yeah.
We're
Okay.
not going to get him out. We're not going to get him out with talking, right?
You guys?
I know. I don't. Yeah.
Well,
Not
we can't
that you
just let him
couldn't.
sit there.
Could we frame it on evil Gaius rather than the real Gaius? Or
Frame.
would that be too complicated?
Wait, we're going to frame
I
Gaius.
mean, there are no.
No, just
The
if
rest of the
Gaius...
doppelgangers are running around somewhere.
Because here's the thing, if we can clear Butterbeer's name, there will be no need to have to bust him out of the jail. But in order to do that, we would need to provide evidence, and if Gaius was the one who asked Butterbeer to hide those things, then that would mean that we'd have to incriminate Gaius.
Right.
But obviously we don't want to do that, but maybe we could incriminate the evil versions?
It's a possibility. It's a thought. I mean, unless Gaius has a perfectly good reason for having an evil object that was stolen.
Right.
Unless we said that we performed the heist where he might have retrieved the object with the evil version of you. And
Me?
if you're with all that.
Oh, sorry.
Well, hold on. Before we start getting into any potential frame jobs and everything, we'll need way more details. And when we reconvene with Gaius again, we'll be able to clarify exactly what it is. Because he won't withhold that from us. He'll specify what it was exactly.
Okay.
I don't want to make any plans that in depth without him. I definitely agree we need to get Butterbeer out of there. If nothing else, we can go to the prison, try and find what cell he's in and see if we can get any information out of Butterbeer himself. Anything he might have been told, any reasoning he might have been given, and his experiences. I feel like he'll be able to paint a picture for us as well. Then we'll know how to get him out.
Visiting hours? Do they have visiting hours?
Not usually in the prison. I mean, if you have a reason to speak to someone, that's one thing, but it's not like, your friends and neighbors can't come and see you, because 9 times out of 10, they have nefarious purposes. They're not just there to go, oh, hey, we missed you.
I don't suppose a conjugal visit is normal.
Yeah, no.
Hey!
I forget, have you met Butterbeer?
I would, yeah.
Now,
Me? Yeah. I'll take one for the team. I'll jump on that grenade.
But
I mean, he doesn't particularly like me, but
well, the guards
he could do
might.
worse. Hey, that's an option too.
it's a possibility.
Not the...
Look, I help how I can.
Hey, thinking outside the box is always a good thing.
Out here doing
If
the
nothing
Lord's
else,
work.
our powers are very, very silly, and it could provide ample distraction.
Ample distraction.
Do they are there like judges or whatever? Do they use counselors? Is there somebody who would talk to Butterbeer who would be able to talk to him? Like, would he have a counselor or whatever? Like to try and keep him from getting hung. Is that a thing here? I don't know.
Do they work with magistrates?
Ooh, I like that word.
Thank you.
It's a good word.
I don't know what that is.
In between a judge and form of law enforcement.
If there is a trial, the accused will be given a solicitor, but usually at the last minute.
Damn crooked justice system. I don't know how much time we have to eat our bowls of tentacles and our fillet of fish.
And it's about this time that they arrive. All of you, except for Reed, get a nice little bowl, and a second bowl comes to Murph, and it's like char-grilled squid tentacles that seem to be tossed in some olive oil, and there's some green herbs that they've been tossed with, and you're given forks. They're like 2-prong forks, and Reed, you get a plate with a nice. There's a little piece of broiled fish, a little piece of fried fish, some fish that's tossed with noodles.
Coloring sheet.
Wonderful.
And
you also have some chips on there as well.
after we eat, I think we should consider, at the very least, trying to make our way toward the prison. If nothing else, we can see what we're working with. Get a good gauge of whether or not we'll be able to find the cell that he's in, or break in.
Did Gaius try and contact him yet with his magics?
I feel like he had.
Butterbeer?
Well, he had limited slot, and I think he reached out to Murph.
Okay.
I think
Eldred
he tried
says
Butterbeer, but
he said something
Butterbeer
about
was-
contacting him.
I don't think he did. Did he?
I don't remember him doing that. But then again, I don't pay attention all that often.
As we are learning, it is to our detriment.
Did I say that out loud?
Murph goes, "Oh yeah."
Murph, we've been made privy to a couple of enchanted items that we've come across in our travels. I don't actually know about some of these, but maybe a couple can kind of shed some light on the object that Gaius was talking about with you, since he didn't provide you a lot of detail. We recently began, we had come across a deck of cards, and I don't know if you had ever heard of this before. The trial?
I thought that was like a fairy story.
Evidently not.
no.
Apparently
No.
it is very real. The cards are the judges.
Yeah, I heard of that.
Yep.
It's
A fairy
very
story.
real.
Yeah,
Boy,
make
they-
believe. I've heard
No.
I've heard sailors
Nope.
talk about it.
Really?
It's very,
Yeah.
very real.
What kind of stories would the sailors tell?
It's one of those stories that you get the feeling is beware of strangers. And also, if something sounds too good, it probably is.
That sounds
Yeah.
very accurate and applicable.
Yeah. Yeah.
But supposedly also, these cards can provide all sorts of unbelievable gifts as well.
Well,
I remember I felt the deck. I held it with me and saw what kind of spoke to me. And it did say it could either offer great fortune or great misfortune. So that sounds correct.
That sounds about right, yeah. There's word of all sorts of decks out there. I've never heard of anybody actually coming across them. To me, they always sound like variations on the same. The trial seems very different because there's some real weird stuff that can happen with that from what I've heard.
yeah.
Where did you
Yeah, tell me
find
about
this
it.
deck?
Oh, so weird.
Little lady,
Where
who are
did you
you
find the
talking to?
deck?
Because I didn't find it. I just heard this.
No, I'm speaking to our trumpet. Where did you all find the deck?
Didn't we find it in Bile Jane's home? Was that where it was?
Eldred says, no. That was in the Stradivernius house.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Stradivernius house.
Mm-hmm.
We just didn't talk. It did not come up or get brought to our attention until recently.
Yeah, guys
Yeah, what do
had
you make
found
of
that
that,
thing
Murph?
on...
What do you make of that, Murph? It was from the Stradivernius house.
That thing used to be in the Eastern Districts, right? Swallowed up by the bitch.
Yep, surrounded by misshapen creatures.
It's still there.
What?
It's still there.
I had always been told it had been swallowed up when the bitch opened up.
It's overrun by some kind of dark magic, possibly evil. There was a lot of carnage down there.
That's where
Weirdly
the evil
enough.
doppelgangers came from.
Yes.
Weirdly enough, some people can't see the house for some reason. You might be one of them, Murph.
If for
Very
no other
true.
reason than I stay the fuck away from the Eastern Districts.
Understandable. We do not blame you.
Hey, Buttrobit, why are
Hey,
you getting
Reed.
in my seat? Why are you getting in my seat? I'm trying to eat here.
Sorry, man.
I'm just kidding.
This
Just
booth
kidding.
is kind of cramped.
You can sit close to me, but trumpet, it's fine.
But so many of us
I
are
was just
tiny.
kidding.
How small is this booth? We're little. How big is Murph?
Other than Murph and Vivalda, all the people sitting there, the little feet are sticking off the edge, kind of just...
Like, I need a booster seat. Like,
If you want to sit on my backpack, you can. Here. There you go.
oh,
You can have some of my French fries if you want, or whatever these things are. I'm gonna call them French fries.
yes.
What's
My
French?
potatoes. I like the word. I don't know. Kind of like magistrate.
Magistrate fries.
Mmm,
I like the word.
that makes them fancy.
Fancy magistrate potatoes.
Magistrate potatoes. Yes, I like that.
Well, obviously we gotta get Butterbeer out of there.
Yes.
So with the things you've said, you've got to either, if you're going to try to get him out, prove his innocence, you better have a strong case. Because you're coming up against the palace here, and
Right.
it just seems when the palace makes up their mind, it really doesn't matter what you have. So just keep that in mind.
No.
So we're probably better off trying to break him out. Or, I'm sorry, break him out.
I mean,
Down here, you're pretty safe to talk, or actually up here, but meaning the docks, you still
mean,
gotta be
frankly,
careful, but, you know.
we probably wouldn't be held in the highest of regards or seen as the most credible source if we were to make a case for him anyway. We might not be any better off if we attempted to actually speak up, so maybe a breaking out is probably the better option.
Does the prison use like magic-y stuff to keep people in there?
What kind of
What do you
security
know?
are we looking at?
Well, there's a big wall.
No problem.
It's got the barracks of the guards on the south side of it.
Problem.
It's right there on the colonnade, so it's kind of out there in the open. It's got a river going across the back side of it, with a small
I
cliff
can
down to the river.
swim. I don't know about Butterbeer, but he is a pirate, so he can probably swim.
As far as magic, it would make sense, but I don't know for sure. What I could probably do might not. I should be able to find someone who's actually been in the prison. Because some people just get put in prison for a number of years and then they're released.
That's true.
The people who are executed is usually something pretty big or against the palace or against the city or something to that line. Just like that other guy who they was supposed to be executed when you guys were doing the job for me.
That's right.
I could probably do some digging and find someone who's been in the prison who could give me some information.
That's actually probably that's a really solid idea. And if you'd be able to do that, we would greatly appreciate it.
Hey, Butterbeer is one of my oldest friends, so I'm happy to, if we can get him out of there.
He's been nothing but good to us. This is the very least we can do, especially since it's probably our fault in the first place. Like, nothing will ever be able to undo that kind of damage. But if nothing else, if we can get him out of there, like, that'll be more than enough for me.
I could be happy with that.
Good.
I'll tell you what, you
Murph.
get him out, I'll get him out of the city. Because he won't be safe here.
He'll need to go.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Thank you, Murph. We really appreciate this.
Like I said, he's one of my oldest friends, and I don't feel responsible, but it's like I sent you on the job that seems to, if they hear your big alcoholic buddy tells the truth, it sounds like it kind of was your fault, but wouldn't have happened if I didn't send you on the job.
It's a very
Obviously,
complex.
It probably matters a great deal to him, but in terms of all of us as a group together, we don't need to waste time pointing fingers about it. There's something going on here. There's some kind of extremely nefarious intent, and it was no accident, I think, that this job had to be done and that it went the way it did and that things have come into others' possession at the exact time. I don't think that any of us could have possibly predicted chips falling where they did at this time. So, if anything, it's not necessarily any of our faults. I think we ended up being pawns in some way. This could go far beyond the job.
Murph,
Yeah.
the job that you gave them was to retrieve an artifact. For what reason exactly?
Any of you want to take that?
To return it to the guy it was taken from?
It was taken from somebody.
It was taken from somebody. It
All right.
ended up in a government building.
I see.
And you got it out of there before it was moved again. It was in the government building, seemingly unbeknownst to the people who worked in the building for the most part. There were a lot of nefarious rich people and people in power who wanted to get their hands on it. Word had gotten out, which is how old Murph heard about it. So I was going to get a crew together, but Butterbeer actually recommended you folk. Which is
see.
He
ironic.
recommended us?
Well, if you remember, you were sitting there and he said, well, what about them? Because I was saying something of this value and rarity. I didn't know if I could trust my crews because there were a lot of rich nobles who would kind of pay a lot of money to get a hold of this stuff. And when there's a lot of money amongst thieves, well, loyalty sometimes doesn't mean much.
That's true.
And
But the job was just to retrieve one object.
Right.
And it was your folks doing that said you really didn't want to fall into bad hands. I think it was your little dwarf ladies. She's the one who brought it up.
Yeah.
Who said that she didn't want it to fall into evil hands. And so I said I thought that was a brilliant idea because I didn't think any good would come of this falling into any rich, pieces of crap hands.
No, it needed to get delivered to the person it was for, that it rightfully belonged
Stolen
to.
from.
Right. And
Yes.
by the way, I have your portion of the job. Once we take care of Butterbeer here, I will happily make that available to you.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, you did a job. I abide by my end. You did it. You accomplished it. I just, I want to take care of my friend here.
Whatever
yeah,
the evil Viv's portion would have been, you can give it to whoever else may need that coin more. I was not there, so I don't want to take something I didn't deserve, nor should she have it either, for what she was going to do with it.
You were kind of there.
I appreciate that, little lady. That's very honorable. But the agreement that your group entered into with me stated that we were going to split things with one share out of your portion going to the Brothers Green. Murph abides by his deal. So once we get this taken care of, I will make that available to your group.
All right.
You can split it up how you wish.
As I'm biting my my sandwich, I look over at Viv and I'm like, by the way, other you was not impressed with the Brothers Green. Just saying.
Were they? What was up with the Brothers Green exactly?
They weren't as good as picking locks as me.
That makes sense. You're great at that.
Reed was salty at evil Viv.
What?
She would.
No, I wasn't.
You were.
What?
You
No,
were.
I wasn't.
Evil Viv. Bad Viv. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, you were.
Maybe
She was mean. She asked them to do stuff that you could do.
Evil Viv spent a lot of time with the Brothers Green, says Eldred.
She was mean to you, Reed.
She just
not as friendly and head patting.
She
hurt
just
his
preferred sometimes to ask them to do stuff, and I could do it. I was perfect. I could do it.
He was
Because you're a hero.
Yes.
Strange. I don't know.
And I'm really
I don't know why she would have done that if they were worse at lock picking than you.
They might have been pretty good. I don't know, but I was better, I think.
Eldred says it's certainly more modest about it.
Thank you, Eldred.
Very, very humble.
So, tell us about this contact that you might have connected to the prisons.
Oh, I don't know who that would be yet. I'm going to do a little research. I figure you folk spend the next day or so kind of scoping out the prison.
Okay.
I'll take that time and reach out to my contacts, see if I can get a hold of someone who spent some time on the inside.
Gotcha.
See if I can find out some information. We can reconvene and connoiter, and I'll see what else I can dig up.
Sounds good.
What are we going to
do? That'd be a great
Scope out the prison.
And then we're going to what? We're going
Reconvene.
Eldred goes, connoiter.
Meet up again.
Calandra can explain that to you as part of what she used to do at the temple.
We're going to meet up again. We're going to see each other again.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll have like food and stuff, right?
I definitely have questions for Gaius.
I think we all have questions for Gaius.
I wonder what's
I've always had questions for Gaius, says Eldred, but sometimes I was a little embarrassed to bring them up.
Oh dear.
He was going to tell me about, a boy wizard and a girl wizard liked each other very much.
Not the place.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I don't know.
If you need, I can draw a diagram for you in a bit.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
You two go off and do that.
You spent a lot of time at that brothel.
I know. I'm thinking, how do you not know? No, I don't want to know. Let's finish up. Take the check.
Murph says, dinner's on me. And
sure?
once we get this taken care of, and we take care of all this, when we go together to do the final business of our previous business, I'm going to take you to my favorite restaurant in the city, and we'll settle up there.
Ooh,
You've been very kind, Murph. You've been handling this very graciously, and I know that you feel a level of guilt, but regardless, it is with the heaviest heart that I say we are all so sorry for our part in what's happened to him. And we want nothing more than for him to be safe.
Well, I appreciate that. The fact that you were willing to take responsibility right off the bat, I appreciate that too. That's a sign of trustworthy people that I can do jobs with. A lot of people would have just said, not me.
We take on a great amount of risk in the things that we do. all of us kind of got thrown into this group together, but we saw what it means to take on these kinds of adventures. And we have to be able to hold that up as we go. If we all stick together, if we all continue to work together, we are accepting that this means a lot of trials and ordeals and owning where we've taken part in that.
Well,
so we will do what we can and happily cooperate with you in whatever way you need to be able to get Butterbeer out safely.
Well, this is a little different. The other job was one of my jobs. So I was able to, I knew where I could get certain information. This is kind of your own job. I'm not hiring you for this. I'm going to try to help you out as best I can with anything I can. I'll do my best.
No, I understand that.
But this is pretty much all you guys.
Intimidating because of just how close to home it is in that regard,
Yeah.
But
I'm trying not to think about that.
Right, of course.
No one wants to think about, their best friends having their head cut off at their shoulders or having their neck stretched by a rope or, the torture that usually
let's not
comes
think about
before
it, because it's not going to happen.
We'll make sure it doesn't happen. We'll get him out.
By the way, Murph, whatever happened to the guy they were gonna hang?
That's a good question. I don't know.
With all the commotion of the explosion and everything, I assume he must have. It's possibly escaped.
It's possible, but I don't think probable. Cause I think there would have been some report on that.
That's true.
And I think there would have been a lot more than just those magic people with the sticks.
There was an explosion at the colonnade.
Yeah. Yeah, you know about
Perhaps
it. You were
that's
there.
something we can look
not
at.
you. Your twin or whatever she is.
What about her?
The doppelganger.
She was the one that was there.
We can look
as
into
in
it. Yeah.
Go to the location, see if we can kind of retrace particular steps there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's definitely a really good idea, actually. A good point. Because that alleyway that we hid in was very, very narrow, and that was a key point, being able to evade people. Yeah, we've got a lot to think about here.
Yeah.
Then, in which case, I think we should try and... Marge said, by the way, you owe Marge dinner, he says.
Oh, yeah, I know. I owe her dinner.
I know that this place doesn't do rooms for the night.
They do. It's just ever since the sickness, every place down here by the docks has been booked solid.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And
where have you been crashing when you get the chance?
I got a place.
We gotta see if it's still safe to break in where we have.
Luckily, I know the owners here, so they give me a break on drinks and food. Otherwise, people are gouging people with the prices they've been raising.
I can only imagine. Well, at least they do well enough for themselves. I mean, ordinarily, I don't want to make you overextend your courtesy any more than you already have, but I don't suppose there's a place you could put in a good word with for us to be able to have a place to sleep that isn't condemned.
Right. Because otherwise it's breaking back into this stuff.
Let me work on
We
that.
are not going to make you do anything that you are not able to do, that you are uncomfortable with whatsoever. You're already doing more than enough, just if it's a possibility.
Let me work on that. Yeah, because down here, not a lot of people I trust to take care of you.
Yeah, that makes sense. I get that.
I mean, there are a couple places that are really, really unscrupulous. There was one place I heard they were charging like a gold piece for an ale and getting it.
Well, we might have gone down there.
I think we were there.
With Evil Viv. Yeah, that was
really
BS.
Bad ale. It was really bad ale. It was watered down. Yeah.
I was just thinking, Mary in the history district at the Hag could probably take care of you. She's no Butterbeer.
Yeah.
The food isn't as good as the Stone's Throw, but it's a quiet area.
We are not looking for anything luxurious right now. If it's affordable and available, that's all that we can. We're thankful for that.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to. Mary's not. It's not that she's not warm and fuzzy, but she just gets the job done. But she doesn't cook.
That's fine.
So you're gonna have to find your meals elsewhere. Probably. I mean, I think she does a few things there, but you're kind of taking your life in your hands if you're going to eat her cooking.
Yeah.
I've got another place
That sounds
that I'll
like a
have to
challenge.
check out, make sure it's still up and running since the sickness. But I'll let you know.
No, we appreciate that.
That's okay. It's called the Hag. We'll look there.
Yeah, it's where I sent you to. She told you to see Aqualung.
Yep. We've been there
That's
before. Yeah.
right. Oh my gosh.
That was the place where Nikita punched me.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
good times.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't make two.
Memories.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, we might not have made a good impression on her then.
We were out in this. No, we took it outside. It was out in
Okay,
the
as
street.
long as. All right.
Yeah, we didn't
Then we'll-
mess up her place.
Then we'll try and be kind of to the point with her
Yeah.
then. Like, obviously, we'll be polite and courteous, but we definitely won't make anything too flowery. We'll just be like, yo,
Because if she
Murph said you
remembers
might have a
this-
room available. Like, keep
Has she met Evil Viv? Perhaps I could talk to her?
She wasn't with us
You
yet, I don't think.
She wasn't with. Yeah.
Okay. Then I could introduce us all.
Might be better than Gaius. So yeah, this is actually probably good. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
This Gaius.
good plan, good plan.
He's missing all this.
We just go downstairs and he's been having a smoke break.
We'll have to find him.
He's in the rubble of like all of the scotch and cigars in the library, just like nah.
Well, if he thinks that you went to the Red Lantern District, perhaps he's
Yep.
searching there for you. So,
And it's a
Did you get to the
mess. He
history
actually got
district by way of the Red Lantern District?
You could go by there, yeah.
if he actually, especially if he managed to get past or around any of the guards and he's actually in there, that's gonna be okay. Or like further down into the actual alley proper, that's gonna be chaos.
Yeah.
I imagine the crowd has probably only gotten bigger, especially now that it's evening and people are going to be wanting to come to the temple to,
well,
I
I'm pretty good
imagine.
at tracking people, and I'm quite familiar with Gaius at this point, so I might be able to find him.
Murph
One of
goes,
his beard hairs is in the road.
Viv, didn't you have that thing from the Hag to contact Gaius or no?
I don't know
Oh,
what
was that
Evil
you're
Viv?
talking about.
That was Viv. Evil Viv has
Oh.
the brooch.
Uh,
Yeah.
Evil Viv
She really,
has a couple of our things, Ms. Eldred.
You two
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
did
that's
look a
going to be
lot
one heck
alike.
of a confrontation, and I can only imagine what it's going to be like if Good Viv meets Evil Viv, and if they have a sort of Jekyll and Hyde situation going on.
Well, I did meet her, and I told her how rude she was being, and she didn't like that, and then she started insulting me, and it was a whole thing. I don't want to meet her again, but I feel like it's
What a
inevitable.
bitch! You did not deserve
Fuck her
that.
up too. I put her on my list of people I'm gonna fuck up.
I kind of want to meet my evil version of me so that I can like stab them. But what if they're really good at stabbing too?
They're probably really good at stabbing Reed if they're evil.
But Reed's really good at stabbing, so maybe they're like the opposite in that respect, where they're super evil, but they're stabbing.
Was there anything
sucks.
that Evil
Yeah.
Viv was like really bad at that I'm really good at? Or anything
Her
like
hair
that?
was so stupid. Yours is
Mhm.
awesome.
And she was real bad
And
at
she was
just letting
mean.
people get
I know.
fucking teleported with their tiny legs. Tiny ass people trying to have to walk all the way back. That was some shorts.
Huh?
Jeez.
Says Eldred?
She let Calandra get teleported away.
Viv and I were together, and it was like, whoops.
Did she do it on purpose? Teleport you away?
I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say she pushed me. Her fault. All her
I don't
fault.
like her. She's not nice. And
No,
she's...
Also, you're really good with your sword. I'm pretty sure if you had the drop on Gaius, you probably would have finished him off.
Yeah,
that's true.
and
I wouldn't. But
not that you would,
perhaps.
But if you had to, you could. Like if it was evil Gaius and good you.
Oh yes, if it was evil Gaius, any of the evil ones, I could do it.
Like he's not even, and so she gets like she should have been able to gut him like a fish, and did she? No. Oh, she also She also got Hannibal, didn't she? Because she had him tied up and cut to attract all the bad things.
That was your pet rabbit, right?
Yeah.
Hates us now for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I was supposed to come alone, and Gaius wanted me to bring Jack, which isn't his fault. No offense, Jack.
I remember you.
You didn't do anything wrong. You did nothing wrong.
You're a good boy.
Pat him on his little stem.
Right.
There we go.
There
he is.
Very good boy.
Eyes light up.
Aww.
Kind of rests his head
you
on your
shoulder. You want to try
some
squid, Jack?
Do you ever need to like eat?
No. Okay, you can just spit it out.
And he goes, and you see a little flame go.
Ooh,
nice.
Calamari.
Or incinerated. That works too.
Do you ever need to like eat a new candle, Jack? No, okay.
You see that there's actually no candle in there. It's just a flame that's kind of floating about an inch above the bottom of the pumpkin on the inside.
You're so cool. You're such a cool pumpkin. Aww.
Puts his head on your shoulder and just kind of nuzzles in there.
Aw, so warm.
Right.
All right. Well,
is Jack an enchanted thing, or is Jack something that might have had a family? Where did Jack come from, exactly?
The witch in the woods.
Yes, he was in Vile Jane's cottage. It's actually kind of ambiguous as to whether or not he had any sentience prior to this.
Okay. Well, we're happy you're here, Jack.
Say he's very sweet.
How was living with a witch? How was that?
Oh,
no. Okay. Sorry for bringing it up. Okay, I'm sorry. Anyway, we have fun, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Like a sideways nod. Yeah, okay, I understand. Cool.
He's very good. He's a good source of light.
Yeah.
He's very warm and cuddly.
And you see him kind of spin upside down and nod that way and spin the other way and nod. Spin around this way and nod. And...
I completely understand you, actually. Yes. All right.
You silly little gourd.
One time, Vivalda, I snuck in a room and Jack burned my eyebrows off.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no, Jack! No. Okay, no.
Oh, I mean, you were protecting our friends, so that was all good.
Well, they grew back, right?
Oh, they're getting there.
Unless it's a drawn.
Get a pencil out, get some charcoal, and
I think it just might be dirt.
I couldn't tell. It looked good. It's a shadow.
Says, we could actually clean just right around the shape of eyebrows.
Make it really thick. That's in right now.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
That's actually genuinely horrible.
I'm starting to realize why Gaius didn't stick around.
Yeah. It's me.
He's probably here.
Sorry.
He's probably in the next room hearing our conversation and being like, "Yeah, I'm not going either."
Yeah.
He ran after you, Calandra.
But then he came back and heard me, and he was like, "Oh yeah, no, she's."
It's
She's in
all
there
of
saying
us.
all that stuff.
We've been a handful for him for ages.
Trying to
But
be
what
a
if it's
handful
me?
for him, but he's not having it. Like,
Because
It's
if
not
the
you,
evil
Viv.
version of me stabbed him, maybe he doesn't like looking at me because I was evil and I stabbed him that one time.
Eldred says,
Well,
I
I
don't
think
think
he's been
that's
able
it
to
at all.
compartmentalize.
No, I mean,
Alright.
really, think about it, he got really upset with what he saw in the Eastern Districts, and he really hasn't been the
Yes.
same
it
the
was
last
really
couple
bad.
days. So I think
It was really
Yeah.
bad.
We're going
Like,
to
it
fix
was-
that. We're going to figure out how to fix that.
Eldred
need
says,
to make
I
some
am
magic.
concerned about him. In that house we were just in, he did some stuff I've never seen him before. Like, he was looking to burn that stuff down.
He's really starting
The
to lose his
I
cool.
think he's looking to burn himself down. Is the problem?
Oh, yeah?
Mm.
I think this is gonna be very potentially he's gonna destroy himself.
But you know what
I
would
think
cheer me up?
righting the wrongs
It
has
might
become
help
very
him.
important to him.
It would cheer me up, and it might help him. We could get him a pet.
Eldred
Yo,
goes, yeah, we've seen
right
how
here.
that works out.
Well, not me. I know I didn't do good with
Maybe
him,
make
but
him carry Jack everywhere, and Jack will keep him happy.
that would work. You think that would work, Jack?
I
He's
Well,
like,
He
see if you
kind
can
of
bring
tilts his head
joy.
back, and a little vine comes up and kind of goes,
He's gonna
he does.
drink.
He does like to drink. Yes.
Have a drink. Have you drank, Jack? What would that do to you? Okay, I don't. It's probably good.
he kind of goes,
I think
Um,
and a little flame, and then this little smoke just kind of, wisp of smoke trails up.
Flammable.
right. I think Gaius has taken everything that's happened and not just internalized it, but feels like it's all his fault and all his burden. And he has created just problems, like a trail of problems. And it makes
than-
me
wait.
very.
Other than the butterbeer thing, what do you think he thinks is his fault?
Well, I thought I was busy blaming myself for that. I don't know if Gaius blames himself for Nikita, but they did have all that moment right before she, disappeared,
she
and
just
he had
disappeared.
bared his soul to us.
She
The
just
Voldemort?
disappeared. That's it.
She
Like no,
taken in front of me.
and
by
that
some of
happened in
those-
the Eastern Districts.
Yeah,
It was.
it was
right,
after we got out of
Right
the
outside the
crypts.
necropolis, right?
Yep. We finally got out of the necropolis.
It was very emotional. I think that
But
rather than process the guilt of things that have just been happening in general, because frankly, let's be real, all of us get into some mischief and there are inevitable consequences. I think that's been piling up. And I think rather than processing that and really going through the impact of that, I think he's just tried to pile on more responsibility in hopes of undoing that feeling. But now it's just gotten
he's
too much.
trying.
So
he's
the pet would be a bad
trying
idea.
to. I think he's just trying to avoid, all of the guilt and the shame, whatever is triggering that within him. So he's trying to fix everything, but at this point, he's trying to fix something that's not even the issue anymore.
He doesn't know what to
But
fix
he's
yet.
Yeah, and so he's just grasping at straws, and meanwhile, I think his emotionally, he's literally just at the breaking point.
We've all been feeling that way. I mean, we had our little powwow before, but Murph, I'm sorry, you're hearing a lot of really deep and emotional subject matter.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm just kind of having my second bowl of tentacles. You go about
Are we
your
making you
business.
uncomfortable?
Not at all. I did think of a few things though.
Please.
The
Please share.
first was not too far from the university is an inn that you could probably crash at if you needed to. It's a place called the Thirsty Pig.
Adorable.
It was mostly a place where college students crashed. So it was cheap, it was dirty, and loud.
Sounds about right.
And there was another place down in the history district called the Hanged Man. I'm not sure if it's still open, but that was a decent place. It was kind of strictly business. You're not going to... I mean, they have food. They usually have rooms. I'm just thinking the Hanged Man's been there for a while. You could probably crash there. I'm not sure what the rates are, but they also, they have food. Something to consider. But the other thing I was curious about, and there are tons of other inns in town right now that would probably die for the business because with the sickness, I understand a lot of them have closed down, but some are still trying to eke out a living. But I was thinking, you were talking about these bandits in this house.
Yes.
Was this just someone's house that they were in? I mean, did you see anything
felt
that
staged? It didn't
felt
feel
staged?
like lived in. Yes.
Really?
What made it feel staged to you? Because I wasn't entirely sure. But then again, maybe I just don't have experience seeing a lot of thievery.
From what Gaius and I observed, it just looked too neat. It didn't look lived in at all. There was like
no personality to
personal. No personality. Just something you might like see objects in a shop put together. Nothing homemade or crafts or idols to worship or anything.
Okay, let me ask you this. The size of the place from the outside, did it match the rooms that you saw inside?
DM, could you help me out there? I remember we only went in like a couple of the rooms.
Give me a perception check.
Okay, thanks.
If I would know too, Paul, I don't know. So I know I was looking in windows and stuff. So.
Vivalda, why don't you take it with advantage? Rolled for you and it had an 18.
An 18, sick. Okay.
You noticed the second floor. There should have been something to the right. And also from looking down the alleyway, you got the feeling that the rooms should have gone a lot further back than they did.
The rooms were in an odd layout where there should have been another room to the right, and the rooms weren't as big as I thought they should have been.
Huh.
So
and where
I'd
was
say
this?
No. They went to the right. This was just along the way.
I'm going to say that you kind of give them an idea of roughly where it is.
I do.
He says, not 100% sure, but that kind of sounds like a safe house for one of the guilds.
I think Gaius might have been talking about that, yes.
So they might have been messing with the wrong people. I mean, I'm sure they didn't get anything if they didn't unearth some of the main rooms that the guild had anything to do with. If the guild knows who they are and that they're doing this, it could be trouble for them.
I hope
Mercenaries
so.
with ogres, you were saying, right?
I hope they get it. They turned me into dick confetti.
Oh, yeah.
You got quite a way with words there, little lady.
I'm so sorry about that again, Kalanja, truly.
I don't know if they was so much mercenaries. They looked like they had what I think was a student who threw a fireball. Yeah. And so
they did look very young.
Okay, so they did have what looked like one of the university students, one of the mages from there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Working with ogres named Ollie and Tiny, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know. Tiny, I have a friend named Tiny who works at the Crowbar.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they an ogre?
Is he an ogre?
I sent you there, as a matter of fact. Big red plume on his hat always wears.
Oh, yes. Oh.
Yeah, well, they did not give him his nice hat this time.
Well, let's back up here. You said there was a kid who cast a fireball?
Yeah.
That sounds
really
like
singed the inside of the place.
That sounds like a student to me, if ever I heard it.
Oh yeah, very impulsive.
That kind of takes that to a whole new dimension, though. Tell you what, you find yourself a new place to stay, some new digs.
We'll get the hack a shot, which we really appreciate you referring that. Will
Yes.
it okay if we use your name and let her know that you sent us?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure Mary will be thrilled to have you back.
I'll
Just,
introduce
know,
us and I'll send
she
you
likes it
word.
quiet, so keep that in mind.
No
we
problem.
will
All right.
shut the fuck up.
The hag's been her family for generations. She only keeps it open to have some sort of duty to her family. Doesn't seem to go out of her way to encourage people to stay there. But
Understood.
which is why I think you'd be able to find a place there.
Right.
We'll try and stay out of the way then, and we'll be respectful.
Yeah, just because she'll throw you out. She won't think twice about it.
So
Noted.
no cards, everyone. Letting everyone know, no more cards. I think
Nope.
Gaius has them anyway.
No, I would not give them back to Gaius. I gave them to Butt Trumpet as a
Oh, you-
concession.
Oh, that
I
is
had
right.
them.
I remember
Yep,
now.
I had them, and I would
And
not.
ain't nobody touching them. We ain't doing shit with those.
I would not
Perfect.
give them back to Gaius because he don't need them right now.
Nope.
And Murph
What's
looks
so
at
bad about
Eldred
the
and
cards?
says, I'd keep your burning fingers to yourself there, young man. Eldred says a couple things I could refer to, but I'll do my best, sir.
What's so bad about the cards?
Everything.
Could
I didn't feel
really.
like it. I mean, it.
Okay, you know what?
The risk is too great, Reed. It's
We'll
too.
look. Put a pin in this. We'll talk about the cards later. Let's.
Okay.
Shall we go to the hag?
Sure.
By way of the Red Lantern District, seeing if
We can meet up with
If
Gaius,
we
yes.
see Gaius anywhere.
Yeah, Murph. If you see him before we do, let him know where we went.
No problem. You got it.
Thank
I'm
you
gonna
so
be here
much
for a
again.
while anyway.
Thank you,
I
Murph.
extend my hand for him to shake it.
Always a
I
pleasure, my
awkwardly,
little blue
I
friend.
awkwardly put my hand in there too, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm the third person in the handshake. I'm just like, oh, sorry.
He looks
It
at
can
Butt
be
Trumpet
awkward when you're the
and
third
says,
person.
always a pleasure, my little blue. Oh, we're doing this. And you too there, young man.
That's
Perfect.
And he reaches up and takes your kerchief and kind of tugs it down over the bottom part of
Oh.
the stone.
You'll mess up my dirt eyebrows.
Yeah, about that. I assume that you were trying not to stand out. That kind of has the opposite effect.
Oh, okay.
That
We can
kind
cut you
of
some bangs.
the eyebrows all of a sudden look like those cartoons. What was that kid's book that everyone used to read?
Little Edge of the Good.
I don't know that one.
It's an engine.
What's an engine?
I don't know. But I seem to remember that being a kid's book for some reason.
throwing out words like,
Like
Thought we were just
magistrate and French.
he's a magistrate.
Right.
Yeah, like
Read Speaking in Tongues.
Oh,
Murph
no,
says,
he's
I don't
possessed.
remember. There was a turtle, a dragon, and a dwarf, and some other things.
Sounds like
Anyway.
a joke.
Yeah, we're going to a bar.
Exactly.
Uh,
All right. Thank you, Murph. You've been a great help. If you see Gaius, just let him know where we're headed, but we'll obviously be in touch. We will reconvene. Do you want to meet back here when you get your contact?
Well, I'll tell you what. If you find your big drinking buddy friend, he can just send me another one of those weird head messages.
Right.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right.
Or if you don't find him, you can always leave word with Marge.
All
That's
right.
a good idea.
She'll make sure I get the message and then hold it over my head for a while.
All right.
Yeah, you
Thank
go
you,
settle
Murph.
that. You go be a man of your word over there.
I'm always a man of my word.
I bet you are. All right. You have a good night. Thank you very much and take care.
You as
It was a
well.
pleasure
Good luck
meeting
and
you,
be
Murph.
careful out there.
Will do.
Okay?
All right. Then we're all making our way out then.
No problem.
Mhm.
Someone roll me a 20-sider, please.
I will do it.
As we're going down the stairs, I comment to whoever's right in front
Never
of me.
let me do anything. I swear to God. Don't let me do anything nice. It never works.
I throw the comment out there. I'm just like I was watching him while we are eating. I don't think he's a vampire.
I
Eldred
don't think
says,
so.
"Why not?"
Because he was eating the tentacle things, and he was drinking. Vampires
And there
drink
was
blood. I'm pretty
obviously
sure.
garlic on the tentacles, Eldred.
Oh,
But
there was. Yep.
I
what
don't
if
think
he's
he's
one
a
of those
vampire
ocean
either.
vampire types?
An ocean vampire? Please tell me more.
Yeah.
Well, he says, have you ever seen those dried up fish on that wash up on the shore sometimes?
Uh-huh.
I always thought that was from the sun.
No, that's from ocean vampires.
What?
But he's a person. How would he get in the ocean? Or how would he get on the land if he was an ocean vampire?
Are ocean vampires humanoid?
Are
They
they
take many
amphibious?
shapes, says Eldred.
How's Eldred looking right now?
Really kind of looking around like, someone please bail me out here.
You dug this
Is
grave
he
for
still-
yourself.
Is he still
is he
glossy
still,
from his
yeah, is he still
disguise?
glossy and yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then I can't say any of the jokes I had lined up. So yeah, we're
Where
good.
can you read up on ocean vampires real?
You could probably read up on them in the library district if you find some of the libraries around there.
Can I insight check Eldred?
Sure.
I'm
Do
like,
you really
Eldred, do
need
you have
to?
too much to drink or not enough to drink?
I
Viv
think I want
needs
to read
to.
up on. I want to read up on these vampires.
Do you really need to check if he's lying?
Because he's fucking lying. Like he's blowing so
17.
much smoke.
If
Of
vampires are real, why
Hey.
couldn't ocean vampires be real?
Everyone but Viv, take off your headphones.
Oh, you bastard.
Oh, I can't wait for ocean vampires to be real.
You get the feeling that he's mostly pulling it out of his backside, but you also get the feeling that maybe it's based on some kernel of truth that he's heard. But a lot of it he's just making up as he goes along, like the stuff about the stuff finding it on the shore and stuff. It's very possible that was made up. You do get the feeling it's based on something. Okay, so you head over to the red light district,
Yay.
the alley of red lanterns, which is
Also
still
big.
cordoned off.
Is it
Look around for
busier?
guys.
Is there like a bigger crowd now, or is it about the same?
It's about the same. You got a lot of people kind of looking, trying to see what they can see.
Things still burning, still smoke.
There's still a little bit, but it's you don't really see too much. There's a little bit, just some white steam over top. It's more the smell than anything else. That smell of burning stuff, and it
I imagine
also
all those
Reed.
animals in there.
Reed, you do smell burning meat. Not burning, but like roasted meat.
Yeah, that would check out.
A lot of bacon.
A lot of it's tough to tell. It's like a whole bunch of different smells of.
Looks like a bacon warehouse next to the temple. Because that was just...
Oh my god!
A bacon warehouse.
the tragedy of it all going away.
That's where he falls
Sorry
to
for all
his knees and goes, "Why?"
Reed's character pivotal moment, seeing the temple of bacon destroyed. It changes
Like-
him.
Can we go too far? Innocent lives lost.
Like
This
Calandra-
sacrifice is a war.
Calandra officially lost everything, but who cares? Because bacon! Bacon was wasted.
Bacon!
This is a real travesty.
That affects everyone.
So, Calandra, what were the buildings next to the temple?
Oh my
Very
god.
important.
There was a shop that sold specific clothing and accessories
Okay.
for the buffet employees.
Ah.
And then
Chef's
there was-
gear. Got it.
yes, chef's gear. Eldred would be familiar with some of that chef's gear.
And
I
he says,
believe-
and harnesses.
Yes, they animal husbandry equipment. Yes.
Ah.
Yes, Reed. You let him be innocent, Eldred. And the next one was we didn't really deal with them much. That was a kind of a warehouse. People from the temple didn't really have a lot of business over there. It was one of those we mind our business, they mind theirs. So
I wonder if it was,
let's
like,
just say
part of-
they were in the industry of let's say they were in the pharmaceutical industry of Zippy No Nos.
Okay.
So are you familiar with Pixie then?
I mean, I'm aware of it,
I see.
but I don't. Seems like messy stuff to get involved with. We do have some people that would come into the temple that would partake in recreational use of such substances, and it could get really messy, especially with money involved and be gambling for it, losing money over it. So it just seemed like something better to let other people indulge in. I'll stick to good old-fashioned ale.
So as you're chatting and you're looking around and everything, you don't see Gaius anywhere.
Shit.
Can I look around for tracks that he might have came this way?
Sure, do it with disadvantage because this alley,
It's been
there's a lot of traffic here.
How did we lose somebody so big?
Okay.
Well, he's big to us,
Investigation?
but is he really like a huge guy?
I mean, he's tall.
Oh, that's not great. 4.
There's a lot of tracks here, and a lot of them are big tracks that are kind of deep and stuff. Any of them could be Gaius.
Go up to the where it's cordoned off and ask any of them if they've seen him pass through.
Give me a persuasion check, please.
Okay.
If you think it'll help, you could get on my shoulders and we could wear a trench coat. 2 little people in a trench coat always seems to work.
I mean, I've got other methods if I need to. Persuasion?
Yes, please.
Shit.
They kind of brush you off like they're busy with other things and just trying to keep people back because everyone's trying to kind of get a look. I think I saw something. What do you think happened to those? What do you
And I
think
can't.
I heard that they do certain things in there. Do you think that's true?
It's true. They do all of those things, and now it's all gone.
Jesus.
So there's all this talk that's just level normal talk of people saying, "Do you think?" Blah 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 blah, and then all of a sudden, Calandra starts shouting, "It's all true! They did it all! Everything!"
Anything you could imagine or dream of, we did it, and now it's gone.
I catch her. Oh, the buffet. The buffet.
Reed and I just cry in each other's arms about the loss of the buffet and all the food and
Yes.
the bacon.
Hey, I was just thinking,
Loss.
Calandra, maybe if you ask about people who were in the building, they'll let you know. Somebody specific, like a guard or somebody, to let you know if they're okay or not.
So you know,
Or you're-
basically everyone around that was standing around is now staring at you, Calandra.
Hi.
Little
I shrink
woman,
away into a.
little
When I
woman
realize
looks
that,
at you and
I
says,
shrink away into a.
"Did you
shadow
work
a little
there?"
bit.
I did work there.
Woman just looks at you, shakes her head, and goes, "Sorted, hussy," and walks off.
Thank you. I prefer paid companion, but okay.
Sorry, where do you work?
This woman had kind of, she was about 4 feet tall, had a kerchief over her head, was somewhere between 70 and 120 years old.
Oh, you meant a
Just kind of
babushka
hunched
lady.
over, had maybe a little bit of a hunchback, and just kind of walked off mumbling to herself. Had a little pipe in her mouth.
You know, maybe getting you some action would fix that.
Ooh.
I definitely hide in shadows. If it comes to a
Luckily-
fight, I got your back.
With the age she is, her hearing really is bad, so I don't think she heard anything.
But let's keep it that way. That's yikes.
So imagine the imagery of the old lady versus the gnome in the middle of the street.
I
Asking your friend to hold her curlers.
right.
Butterscotch everywhere. Flying out of her
Calandra.
purse.
Butterscotch
Calandra.
at 30 yards.
She tries to jump around and she breaks a heel and she's hobbling. Oh no.
Or a hip.
Walks at 20 paces.
Do I see anyone around that looks like someone from the temple, like anybody at all?
Give me another perception check, please.
Okay. 14.
14. At the back of the crowd, like against the back wall, you see a familiar face standing there in a long cloak that's covering them up, but you see the makeup that is kind of just streaming, has been running down their face and everything. The hair that's normally pulled back is kind of like there's some loose ones, and the eyes are all red. Lipstick's been smeared. You recognize this person from working at the temple. Their name's Benny, and he's usually worked just a couple days a week.
The other days he's with the Jets.
I'm going to go check on Benny then.
Oh, Calandra, it's horrible. Were you here?
What? No, I was with my friends. We just got back into town. But what did anyone else make it out?
I wasn't working today. I was supposed to work tonight.
Okay. No, okay. Yeah. The
guard said that last night, in the middle of the night, there was some freak storm, but that it was a lightning strike did it. Like, not only took the temple away, but the two buildings next to it on either side of it. Just totally razed them to the ground. There's nothing but rubble left.
Did you have anything in there? How much did you lose, Benny?
Well, just my gowns.
Okay.
And, my shoes. I had quite a collection of shoes.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. I was quite jealous of those.
Yeah. Of course, there's Scupper, too, but, I just kind of helped out with him and, cleaned his stall and everything, but other than that, he wasn't really mine.
But you did have a bond. You took care of him. Yeah. Oh, so
he was good. It's tough to find someone who you perform well with.
It is. It really is to have that vibe that you could just it's.
But I don't know what I'm going to do now. But I mean, it seems like everyone's gone. They said there were no survivors that they know of.
So
and there doesn't seem to be anything but stone and charred wood left. Like, whatever this was. I mean, I've been standing back here listening to it. Like, a couple people have said the phrase "act of the gods" sort of thing.
Right.
Because they've heard of lightning strikes before, but nothing like this. And I don't know about you, but I didn't. I was out with my friends last night. There was certainly no storm where we were.
No storm. Nope. Not for me either. I didn't see anything. So the only survivors would be people who were just lucky enough to not have been there.
I mean, that's horrible.
It is terrible, Benny. This is. I hope we find some more. Maybe if we find the people who weren't there, who weren't working, there has to be more than just you and I. And
there are a number of people who only worked a couple nights a week.
Yeah, they aren't there, so there will be more of us, and we'll figure it out.
Okay.
We'll figure it out, Benny.
Okay, you know where to find me, or
yeah.
Just, let me know, because
I will, Benny.
I don't know what I'm going to do now.
No, we'll figure it out. We'll take care of each other.
Okay.
Like we always have. We're a family.
Yeah, this is true. And we were a good bunch. I had some of my best friends were here because everyone looked out for each other. Everyone took care of each other. Because customers can be assholes.
You know my story. You know how I ended up here. I mean, and everyone just welcomed me in, no questions. So it's always okay, Benny. Try to get some rest. If you find anybody else, maybe we'll start from there. Yeah.
Me too. I don't want to have to go back to being a fishmonger again. It wasn't me.
No,
at least I could express myself.
Exactly. This is home.
Yeah.
This is where your family
And
was.
good people.
We
Good people.
yeah. Yeah. Some of the best.
Okay. If you hear anything, let me know.
Yeah, and same.
I mean, I've tried to see down there. There's really nothing to
Yeah,
see.
I
mean, the whole
I
front
could
of all three buildings are just totally gone.
yeah,
There's
I
just that
tried
pile
to
of rubble that's out into the street.
even just I'm down here looking for somebody and I couldn't even get information about that. So we are on our way. I'm actually we're going to try to find since this was the place I was going to stay and I can't. We are headed to find a
Good luck
room.
with that. I'd let you stay at my place, but
No.
I just share a room that's really a closet bigger than where I am.
Yeah, no,
So,
I understand. I'm just glad to see you safe.
Well, thank you. You too. I've been here way too long, more than I should anyway.
Yeah.
It's just been so upsetting. I should probably just
Go
home and try to get some rest.
Try.
It's going to be a couple of sleepless nights, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Yep. All right.
Good luck, Calandra. We'll keep in touch. Okay.
We'll see you soon, Benny. We will figure this out. Oh, you too. Please.
And
Don't
he
need
wanders
to lose
off.
any more of us.
He wanders off, and you hear him kind of sniffle.
Fuck.
So what does the group do now?
Make our way toward the hag.
Someone roll me a 20-sider, please.
I got it.
I think it's best if I don't do that this time.
I'm the only one who hasn't rolled yet. I'm hoping to get higher than what was the highest so far? 4.
Yeah.
The bar is in hell.
So please don't bring your shovel.
Hey, I got 18.
Woohoo!
Hell yeah!
Go read.
Hopefully that's good. Who knows if that's good or not?
Right? Please be good.
You run into 18 ogres.
Oh, cool.
Oh, no. Oh, great.
And they're doing a line dance in the middle of the street.
We join in.
I want to join in. I want to ride on one of their shoulders. The one at the very front.
It's a little creepy how empty the streets are this late at night. More so than usual.
Is there like a curfew, by the way? Are we not supposed to be out?
You don't know. You haven't heard anything.
Okay.
But the streets do seem a little more barren than usual. But you've been noticing even during the day, there's certainly a lot less traffic than there was. But you've traveled around the city this late at night before. You usually, even in alleys and everything, would see some people, and some people just in the shadows lurking about. And you think you might see some things in alleyways here and there and some shadows, but nowhere near what you're used to. Now, granted, down by the docks, it's a little different. The alleys seem pretty well packed with people just kind of looking for shelter. There's like the equivalent of some homeless mansions being built with like old crates and stuff like that. But once you get past the warehouse district, that becomes a little less, obvious. And you finally, after a couple hours of walking around and just kind of being safe, find yourself at the Green Hag along a tree-lined avenue in the History District.
I know Murph said that she doesn't have food, but all that walking, I'm hungry again.
I have a couple of rations.
No, I don't want to take your food. Maybe I should find food somewhere.
If you need them, it's fine. We can.
Oh, no, I'm just always hungry.
Well,
I don't need them.
Maybe we can ask Mary if there's somewhere to get some food instead of, we don't want to just kind of wander around. Might draw attention unnecessarily to ourselves.
Okay. I'll wait until we find a way to get a room, and then I'll ask.
That's the plan. That's a good plan.
Are the lights on in the Green Hag?
There are some lights where the bar is that are lit.
Is the door open?
Yes. You go up and you try it and it opens. Yeah.
I'd like to make my way in, and if Barry's at the front or at the bar, what have you, I'd like to approach her.
And I'll go with them.
I'm
She's
going in 'cause I must. Yeah.
kind of sitting behind the bar, smoking a pipe, reading a book. There's a couple off at a table somewhere, just having a couple drinks, just kind of like talking quietly to each other. They give you a passing look, but that's about it. There's someone in another corner. You only notice because they seem to be smoking a cigar. When they take a puff on it at the end, lights bright orange. You see kind of some eyes glow in the light. But other than that, it's kind of dark in that corner. Other than that, there doesn't appear to be anyone here.
I'm going to walk up to Mary behind the bar, and in my hand have the gold pieces that I was going to give to Marge, but that she gave back to me.
Okay.
I'd like to say, excuse me, Mary?
Huh. You look at, she sees you and says, "Oh, I remember you." And Mary's, tall and thin. The thing that stands out about her, once again, is her eyes are a little crossed. So while it looks like she's looking at you, one eye always seems to be keeping an eye on the front door as well.
I slide the coins over to her. Murph said that it's possible you might be able to have some space for us for the night. We won't
How
be
many
in
of
trouble.
you are there?
There is 6 of us. One is currently out. He will likely make his way back to meeting us.
Okay. I have 6 rooms. They're a gold piece a room.
Okay.
And
Table question. Do I have that all with me? Do I have that all? Because I have the 2 coins that I was going to give her, that I do. I do give those to her. I'm just trying to remember whether or not I've been trusted with money. I mean that seriously, but, you know what I mean.
I have gold if you don't.
It's like we can also, if we need to double up or anything, we can.
Yeah, but
That
you
would
and
be fine with
Vivalda
me.
are the ones who went in, and Vivalda, you have money.
Yes, I do. I'm also happy to double up as well with anyone.
Yeah, do you have, are each of the rooms singles, or is it possible for doubling up if that saves you some space?
I don't care about saving the space. It's up to you. If you want some doubles, I can do that. It's still a gold piece a person.
That's perfectly fine. Completely doable. 3 doubles would be very accommodating. Thank you.
You got it. There's a lot of crap going on in the city recently. I don't put up with any of that stuff.
Nope.
You guys
You won't have to
cause
worry
problems. You're going to be out the door, and you will never be welcome here again.
About that.
I
Understood.
understand.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. So she asks for 6 gold pieces and says
She
3
gets
doubles.
6 gold pieces. Yes, please.
How much did you have,
Okay.
Butt Trumpet?
I had 2.
Okay.
Would you be able
The
to
other
offer
4.
the other 4?
She gives you 3 room keys, tells you where to go to find the rooms. Says, you going to need anything else this evening before I give these to you?
Any places nearby to grab food, be that a market or like a dive, it doesn't matter too much.
There's a puka place down the street. It's not very good, being perfectly honest. I mean, you might as well just take the walk to the puka shoot. This place is, it's just not worth the effort. There's a little pub down the opposite way.
You hear from the doorway, "I like puka shoot." How far is that?
See a candy fly out the door and hit you in the head.
Guys, seriously. This time, I'm putting my teeny tiny 3-pronged foot down. My very Kermity looking foot down.
She says, if you go out the door, make a left, you're going to basically be leaving the history district. You'll hear it before you see it. It's a pretty raucous bar. It's called the Dog's Bollocks. And it's open late. And they'll feed you.
All right,
Sounds
sounds
Food's
good.
not bad. Don't expect any highfalutin overlook sort of crap, but
That's not to worry. Just need to fill the stomach and get some sleep. we will stay out of the way.
Ale's
Do you
good
think
there.
that-
The whiskey's
Do you think
good.
they have bacon?
Lots of luck finding bacon anywhere but down by the water, young man.
Understood.
We'll find you something, Reed.
Thank you, Mary.
You betcha.
And
Thank you.
are we good to take the keys with us when we go out?
Absolutely. I goes, just try to be back before it becomes morning.
Understood.
Oh, yeah.
Understood.
Okay.
All right, then how about we get into, let's split up our rooms. Eldred, you care rooming with Gaius? You can kind of touch base if he comes back and everything. He finds his way back to us.
Sure, that's fine with me.
Okay, let's say, Calandra, do you mind taking Reed to get food? And do you two mind bunking together?
Oh, that's fine.
Cool.
That's fine.
Then that leaves me with Viv.
You hear
Oh.
Eldred go, "Ooh."
No.
So none of you are hungry? None of you want food too?
I am good after my tentacles.
Yes, I'm
Very
good as well.
sweet.
It's a gross sentence.
Then yeah, then I
But
guess.
if perhaps you find any food that we can cook later, perhaps grab some of that,
Takeout.
and we can always
Can we
cook
do
that on our own
takeout?
time.
Oh, right,
Yes,
yeah.
and especially if you find like meat, we could turn it into jerky, which isn't bacon, but it's close.
That's
From
true.
behind you, you
Perfect.
do hear Mary go, "There's no cooking in the rooms."
Understood.
I understand. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll get as much as I can. I only have some silver and copper currently. Gaius has all my money.
I have a little bit.
Eldred says Gaius
uh,
has all of our money, I think.
Yeah.
What do I have? I have
You
a
really had
little-
to
I feel-
rely on
I
our
feel-
personality here.
I feel
Our
honored to be
professionals.
as trusted as the rest of you.
Yeah, I have a little bit of money, so we'll see what we can get.
Okay.
If you need extra, I can give you a little bit more.
That's okay, Viv. We'll get it.
All right.
Yeah, we'll
We'll
see
get
what
it.
we
I
can.
don't know what. You got the rooms. You and Bucktrump.
Yeah,
Oh,
so we'll
right,
get the food.
yes.
Okay,
All
so
right, thank you.
Calandra and Reed are going to go get some food. Butt Trumpet and Viv, are you going to go up to your rooms?
Sure.
To your room?
I was planning on it, yeah.
Okay, then
Which one did she say was closest? The
The
bulldog.
dog's bollocks. The
The
dog's
dog's
bollocks. Yeah.
Okay.
Sweet.
On the way there, I definitely asking Calandra, what does that mean? What's a bollocks?
Have you ever heard of Rocky Mountain oysters?
Is that food? Oysters
Some
are food,
people.
Okay.
These are special oysters, but yes, they can be food. Is there anyone around us? Is it kind of
okay, you come out of the green hag.
left?
So give me a perception check there, Calandra.
11.
You think you might see some movement down an alleyway that's kind of dark. That's about
No,
it.
that's- As we're walking, I'm just going to lean over and I'm like, "Hey, Reed, I did a bad thing.
Just now? I didn't see you do anything.
Well, I didn't do it now.
Oh.
The
What'd you do?
temple. The temple.
What'd you do at the temple?
All of that. The lightning. That's my fault.
You made lightning?
You know when Gaius threw the cards on the table
Yeah.
the other night? I took them.
Mm-hmm.
I pulled another card.
Oh.
And it was like that. That's what it looked like.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, what? So the cards are bad. Well, you didn't do it. You just pulled a card. That's not really your
The
fault.
cards can be very, very bad.
Well, you
Like-
did.
No one can pull any more of those.
Okay. Well, we won't pull
Because
anymore.
I-
But you didn't
that-
mean to do that, right? So that's.
Well, okay, I didn't mean to do that. I took the cards because I didn't want Gaius's gambling ass to pull anymore.
He probably would have.
Yeah,
You're
but
probably
so did
right.
I.
Yeah.
Like, so did I mean, he would have.
I probably
So
would have
did
pulled him
I.
too. So.
This is
Yeah.
so bad.
You think?
You know?
You think those? You think all your friends didn't make it out of there?
No, they wouldn't have. Not all of them. No. So, I mean, not everyone there worked. Some people didn't. You know, like me. Like I lived there,
Mm-hmm.
and some people did live there. A lot of people though, just would work whatever days, like 2 or 3 days a week. We had some people that only worked weekends because it was the busy time. So I know,
Well,
yeah, no.
Yeah, maybe a bunch of people are okay.
I mean, yeah, some people were okay, but this is bad.
What if?
But
Can you think of any way to fix it? Did you make like a wish? Did you make like a wish or something?
no, with this card, no, there was no wish. It just it didn't ask anything. You know, they don't always, I gather, ask stuff. They just kind of are what they are. I don't want to pull another card to fix it, but I've also been thinking about how to also help fix things with butterbeer. And I can always try to talk to Gary.
Gary.
The Nikita's demon prince.
Oh, you can talk to him?
I made a deal with him.
Can you just like talk to him in your head or something? How does that work?
No, I don't know. Last time he just kind of opened a portal and I went through it. Some woman came and got me to take me to him. So I don't know if I have to like pray to him or just call out to him or whatever, but I can.
But
he said if it was,
probably want like a price though, right?
I mean, basically we can amend the deal. We can add things on, but yes, there would be a price. But I mean, yeah, I already gave the dude my. I'm wondering how this is going to play out between my God and him with the whole I gave him my soul thing. That's a conversation for a later day. Adoni might not be keen to share. We'll see. Whatever. She might also be a freak, but I can always try make more deals with him to try to fix things.
I mean, maybe we should try and break butterbeer out first, and that would be like a last resort, maybe.
I mean, I guess if we're able to get information, figure it out. But if we start running out of time, it's always an option. I don't want any more people die because of my dumb shit.
Yeah.
So I already made a deal with him once. If I have to do this again, like it's fine. I mean, I know he's probably not some kind of evil, I guess, but he's not. So far, he's not mean. So I guess that's at least, you know, I dealt with worse working at the temple.
Well, yeah, but not. I'm sure whatever you dealt with there didn't have the power of somebody like that.
I don't think so. I would hope I would have been aware of that.
I think we should try and not do more deals. It's just.
I just would like to try to.
But Trumpet said there's like a big risk with the deck of cards, and it sounds like there's a big risk with what you're talking about too.
It is. I'm sure it very much is. I don't. You know, I don't read the language that he wrote everything in. I think for the protection for the benefit of you, Gaius, and Butt Trumpet, and Vivalda, and even Eldred, it would be. And the only upside to this is I don't think I'm gonna have to pay off the debt that Eldred worked up, because I was going to have to pay him. I was going to have to do a lot of work on his behalf. That is the only silver lining to this fucking shit stew that is being served up. I owed a lot of money on his behalf.
When we get our money from Murph, I mean, we could have always paid off whatever debt you owed. Hopefully, that would have been enough.
Eldred's he's a nasty boy.
I got a little worried when I saw the donkey, but
yeah, yeah. I hope that Eldred and the donkey, poor donkey. So yes, for all of you, I could. It's fine.
Well, I don't think you should. I don't think you should take any more of those risks. I mean, we're gonna risk ourselves to get butterbeer. I'm sure there'll be risk there.
Well,
and if we're supposed to be like stealthy when we try to get in touch with butterbeer, or maybe break him out or whatever, I mean, we're gonna have enough trouble with Gaius being stealthy if he's there, or Eldred. Although Eldred could turn invisible. I don't think you should be so hard on yourself about what happened, because, I mean, you didn't make the card do that. The card did that. So I make mistakes all the time, and it's all good. Gaius is still my friend. I've made mistakes around him for, like, forever now, it seems like.
Oh, my God. Let's go get some dinner. Let's walk. Yes, we're walking and talking, yes.
I start running down the litany of mistakes I've made. some of which you've seen. And then I poked the monolith-looking thing in the necropolis. And then
You gave something your blood. It was fabulous.
I stole dragon gold.
That's why I gave you that lesson about, no glove, no love. Like, you don't go poking things without gloves.
Yes. I should get a good pair of TP gloves.
They make them in latex. They're really nice. Or sheepskin.
Sheepskin sounds nice.
Feels very close to real skin. Very natural.
So you guys are talking about this for quite a while.
Yeah.
Somebody give me a survival check to see if you can find this place.
21.
You know that you're well out of the history district, because it's certainly not the nice area that was. This is a lot more... The houses all look like cookie cutter houses of themselves, very plain, kind of looking like district housing, if you get my drift.
Does it look like the neighborhood in Edward Scissorhands?
No, it actually looks a little bit more like something from District 9, actually, a little bit more. Down an alley, you hear quite a bit of laughing and noise and stuff like that, and there's lights spilling out into this little side street that's about a couple feet larger than what you would imagine an alley is.
How far do we gotta go? How far?
You probably walked. You were strolling, so you weren't like, oh, we're rushing or hurrying or anything. So I'm going to say you went about a half hour, 45 minutes.
Hopefully we find something soon.
Right.
Well, this is like,
too far from
this seems to be the closest thing to what Mary suggested for you.
Okay. Cool. Let's go check it out.
You haven't gotten any Gaius messages in your head, right?
I mean, that man lives rent-free in my head all the time. But as far as him talking to me, no. You would think he would have, too. He was looking for me, apparently. Like...
Right.
See, he's really having a moment right now. Like, he's really going through it.
Well, unless he went back and he found Murph, or Marge.
He could be asleep at the. He could be back at the. He could have, or not. He wouldn't be already at the Hag by now, but he could already be on his way back, or he's having a drink with Murph, so he'll be
That's
there for
a
a while.
possibility too.
So you go up, and it's definitely a bar. The sign outside
Woo.
has a picture of a big, pretty rough-looking mutt that's faced away from you, looking over its shoulders,
Yep.
shoulder at you with its tongue hanging out. And we're going to say, Calandra, you're the one who really notices, okay, this is why this bar is called this, from that sign.
We're in the right place. Yep. And his bollocks.
And it's hopping in there.
Okay, well, yeah.
Two little people go into a bar.
Two little people go into a bar.
You notice that it's mostly humans, so you're really kind of out of your element, and like people are bumping into you constantly when they're walking around and everything, not seeing you there. What do you do?
I like that. I
Like,
try and steer Calandra and I to the bar.
right, we're just like
Yeah.
the bumper, just like.
Yes.
Trying to
It's
push our
about
way
3
through.
deep at the bar, so you know.
I can climb a man. Surely I can climb a man.
I'll help you up.
Oh, I could just get on top of Reed.
There's
Hey!
a switch for a change, huh?
I get to be on top for once.
If you want, I'll
It's
help
my
you
turn.
up. If you want to climb across the humans to the bar.
It's like, excuse me.
Yeah.
Guy dressed in a vest and a very thin mustache and slick back hair.
Ooh, it's a man. Let me dress
So-
appropriately. Hello, sir.
What can I get you, miss?
We need what? Food.
Food?
What do you have for
Okay.
food? You know what? Whatever the special is, how much is it?
Tell you what, there's
You
just
gotta-
you?
Actually, more than I'm gonna need some to go. We're staying
Really?
at the Hag.
Okay, how many people's worth of food do you need?
Reed, should I get like 6?
Depends on how much it costs. I have 11
How-
silver. What do you got?
How much per plate to go?
2 silver per.
Great, I got you. I need 6.
Wow. Okay. Let me know where you're going to hang. I'll put the order in.
Okay,
You want any
perfect.
drinks or anything?
I would love a scotch. You want anything, Reed?
A what?
Beer, ale. Give me ale. Whatever you got.
Okay.
On
I'll
tap.
take
Great.
one too.
2 of those.
Eat 2 of those. Okay. Not sure how you did that, miss, but that's interesting. Comes back, gives you 2 tankards, and goes and puts the order in. And
Is there anywhere to sit in here? Or are we just gonna
not
have to kind of?
really.
No,
But
that's yeah.
eventually, after about a half hour, they bring out a small package that's been packaged up, and it says there's 6 in here for you. By this time, you've finished your ales, and they give it to you, and you go back to the Hag.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
what did we owe for that?
Yeah.
Oh, you got it all?
Yep, I got it all.
Okay. Thank you.
So,
Yep,
and
you're
I think
welcome.
you'll head
I
back
am
to
definitely with
the
good friends.
head back to the Hag, and I think that's where we'll call
Yes.
it an evening. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. It's been a fun evening. It's been an interesting evening. Once again, also, thank you to all of you that I met in Ireland, that we met in Ireland. It was a pleasure. We're so glad to have you here. We're always happy to have new friends, and especially all of you, because all of you were pretty awesome and pretty special. So tune in next week. Same Grognard time, same Grognard channel. And let's see, there seems to be some new options on how we might be getting Butterbeer out of prison. So this should be real interesting.